Anything is possible. Together we are unstoppable. Anything is possible. You can remove all obstacles. Anything is possible. Together we are unstoppable.
Calm, centered, determined.
He's here to love the sick made well. Now what are you going to do?
I was doing 70.3s and I'd only really planned my year up to June, and to begin with, Ironman Boulder wasn't on the cards, and one of the reasons I didn't put Kona on the cards was because I thought, oh, it's really hard to get there, and then it turned out that was exactly the reason I wanted to get here, was because it wasn't easy, so that's how much I knew myself in January. But I did Boulder, and I thought, well, it's not going to be easy, but I kind of liked the challenge of trying to get here, and then I wanted to be here. It was really simple. It was like, do I want to race in Kona? Yes, I do. And I liked the challenge of getting here. So then after I did Ironman Boulder, it just became, that became my focus. And I thought, now I'm pretty relaxed about this. And so when Ironman Whistler, didn't go very well, I was like, oh, it doesn't matter, it wasn't meant to be. And then, 20 minutes later, I was like, actually, no, I do want to go to Kona. It kind of made me realize that I wasn't going to leave it to chance. And it became this really complicated formula of like, if X does this and Y happens. And I was like, well, I don't want to leave it up to other people's performances. So then I put, like the same day as Ironman Whistler, I put my name down for Mont Tremblant and was like, I'm taking ownership of this process, and if I want to be in Kona, I'm going to be in charge of whether I get there or not. Definitely having Archie has made me focus in a different way. So, I won't lie, there have been Saturdays where I've had like a brick run, and I just don't want to be away from the family for 6-7 hours. And, Brett's pretty much like kicking me out the door, and then I think, well, if I'm out here, let's make this count. And it's actually been a positive, because I do find it hard being away for those big blocks of time. But if I'm going to do it, I'm not going to be thinking, like riding soft pedaling, thinking, oh, I wish I was at home. I was like, I'm going to nail this session and make it worthwhile. And so it kind of has made me focus to make the training matter. I don't want it to be junk. And when I'm out racing, I feel like that's kind of an accumulation of, it's like there's been, we've adjusted how things are, and so racing is like an accumulation of that. But not that I get pressure from Brett that, all those Saturdays where you're out for 7 hours, you better do well. But I want to do well. It's a difference. I don't feel like I'm not going to be able to go home if I don't, but I just want to make it count, and it's a positive thing. Yeah. When you've been here year after year, you kind of forget how intense it is, and it was actually by taking a step outside, I was like, whoa, Rach, when you go to Kona, try and conserve your energy in race week, and stay relaxed. It's fun to be here, and use that energy in a good way. Then the race was, I think you see the people who do well are the people who not stick to their plan, but they race their race, if you see what I mean, and I think, and keep their head, and sometimes it doesn't mean that there's like a super special performance that, obviously Daniela's race last year was immense, but a lot of the spaces in the top 10, it was about the people who kept their head and just didn't get thrown off by the fact that Daniela was having a great day, and really went for it. And it showed me that there's always an opportunity. I didn't feel like I didn't have FOMO or whatever. I hear that's fear of missing out. I googled it.
Such a bum.
And but it made me realise that I guess I felt like I could come back and I could compete at this level again. I think we're going to have maybe a lot a few different groups on the bike. So I think we're going to have a breakaway on the swim, and you're going to have 2 or 3 women in that group, with the Lucy Charles, Lauren Brandon, maybe Hayley Chura, getting away from the rest if it's not too choppy, or and then I think you might get maybe 2 other groups, and I think what I like about it is that I'm not really sure. So I like that it's unpredictable. The last time I raced, I mean, I ended up not being in that group, but I was pretty sure I could name like 5 people that would come out to swim together, would probably ride the first 90k together, then it would start to become fragmented. It would be the same pattern that had happened in the previous 2 or 3 years, whereas this time, I don't know, and I kind of like that. So yeah, I don't know who's, we're going to have people off the front, people coming from behind, and a whole lot going on in the middle. So yeah, I think it's going to be fun to watch and be in the race as well.
Possible.